they're indoor cats. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like they're not versed with what's out there. They're not ready for what the world. My whole life I've learned so much about human beings from watching the personalities of animals. And human beings are very, very, very similar. Well, because we're animals. We're mammal. I mean, we're no different. We're just the ones that are, supposed to be evolved and be the custodians and take care of the planet and make sure it stays clean, and the practitioners, and if there's something wrong, we fix it. And that's essentially our sole purpose. And then this human beings with their psychology and their mentalities and their thumbs had better ideas on how to freaking wreck everything. Make it really inorganic with their made up reindeer games and their opportunistic attitudes. More for them, but they're taken away from other people, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. So anyway, let's get this going. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Maybe I'll leave it bright today. I don't know. That's a little much. That's a little overachievery. That's a little overambitious with the light there. I got sensitive eyes. Me and Mom do too. I get it from my mom. So, hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. The mom cat, she's got the little kitty papasan today. She's so cute. She's only, like a year and a half old. She's too young to have babies. I was just telling Mom, there's indoor cats and there's outdoor cats, and and Tango both started out outdoor cats, but they're too loving, man. There's too many eaty things out there. Anyway, so did I say it? Did I introduce myself? I don't remember. All right, thanks, Mom. Mom, between the two of us, we got like a whole memory. So it's been a pretty lackadaisical day, pretty chill, I got out early this morning. I went out a little bit after 9, went to the Talpa Farmers Market. Just a tiny community. They had, maybe 7 tables set up, and it's Friday, so I keep forgetting it's Friday. So they had like some school that was there on a field trip. They were looking at stuff, If they would have put me in a special school, I would have been hanging out with those kids, but they just left me a lot of times. I think I've been divinely blessed in my life because I've fallen through the cracks. Because people just didn't know what to do with me. So they didn't do anything with me, so I just kind of just went through. I just kind of figured stuff out as I went along, because like regular teachers, when they would give instruction, I'd ask, okay, well, do you mean this, or do you mean this, or do you mean this or this? And they'd be like, what? Hey, whoa, that was Tango jumping over Luna. Whoa, you okay? She's like, he was in my space. There's my bubble. You okay, little girl? You always sound so ferocious, and she don't have no teeth. I mean, she has teeth, but they're all wore down and stuff. She ain't hurting nothing. Anyway, so went down to the Talpa Farmers Market to look for the wood guy, the guy that made, because I was gonna get an urn, special something for Sassy's remains, and he wasn't there again, so I'm just gonna, I think tomorrow I have a commitment in the morning. I got a gig. I'm gonna go show this take pictures of this lady's dog, and she owns Super Groomers, a grooming spot here in town, and then if she likes how I take pictures, then she wants me to come down a couple weeks for a couple hours a day, a few times a week, to take pictures of her clients' dogs and Halloween costumes. Yeah, and put the dogs in costumes, and I take pictures of them, and then they, they can donate whatever whatever they want for the picture. They think it's cute, whatever, we print it off right there. See, and that's the thing, is I can do the technology. I can do the whole, I got all these abilities. I just, I'm a stay-at-home daughter, so I got to get creative on how to figure out how to go ahead. Look how bright that is. How to use my abilities and my skills, with increments of like 2 or 3 hours, So maybe I could have, maybe someone can come over and hang out with you too while I do it. Wouldn't that be nice? Because, see, I just worry because, like, power goes out here. I came home the other day, I was unloading groceries, and the power goes out for an hour. I mean, I want someone here to be able to take care of Mom if the power goes out. I got a whole, I could write out a whole instruction book of, okay, here's this fan. I'm going to get more, like, chargeable fans, stuff like that, that we can use temporarily. And I'm going to buy a nice generator, too, for the extended periods, and just, because we got it, man. They haven't, for 25, 30 years, they haven't been taking care of the infrastructure. Of all across because, Mom, we lived everywhere, and I pay attention to a lot of stuff, and I pay attention. They're too busy painting the lines on the road, but they're not taking care of the stuff underneath, and it's all dissolving, and I just saw a video on Twitter of I think I can't remember where it was, but the water that was coming out, and they spend all these billions of dollars to other country. They launder money, and it's all a freaking, they grow up watching freaking Godfather and dumbass gangster movies and shit like that, and so they grow up, and then they mimic that behavior, and they think they're thugs and freaking gangsters, and if anybody stands in their way, they just kill them or have somebody else kill. It's just ridiculous, the disregard for human life, and people are shorting out all over the place. I don't look at headlines often. When I do, man, it's like morbid stuff, and it's stuff that can be remedied, like the lady in San Francisco that just got her freaking head cut off by a sword in broad daylight because of a guy who had a freaking restraining order against him. And it's the psychology, it's their mentality. You get these freaking people that can't handle rejection. They just have been told yes their whole entire life. Yes, your mom and dad gave them everything they ever wanted. Parents, maybe even if they're divorced, they got 2 sets of everything they ever wanted. Who knows? But they never learned how to deal with no or disappointment, or how to handle your emotions in dealing with situations when disappointment and heartbreak and all that stuff come on. They got no tools in their toolbox and how to cope with a heartache. And so these people are just like, they're freaking acting out, and they're acting out, and it's men and it's women, and they're of all ages, and they're doing all kinds of weird stuff. They're acting out in their shadow. People are living from their shadow. Today's it's full moon today, and I went down to the park after I went to the Talpa Farmers Market because it was early. I didn't even get a cup of coffee. I wasn't even compelled to drink a cup of coffee. I went down there, and they had fence all blocked off and tents and stuff, and okay, they're doing something else. It just makes it lame for locals. I like meeting people from other places, but man, it's like land of the plastics. The people that come out and just vacantly look at stuff. It's the land of it's like just the people that have just totally lived by the program. it's just, it's like human zoot is me. So I went, and there was a couple people there. When I first got there, I was there for a good hour or so with just this young guy. See, I like talking to the young, he's like 19 years old, because they're the ones that need the guidance, man. Think about all the people on this, but they don't need no more false prophets. People don't need no more, rich people that, these kids that they got next to nothing but what they got, spend it on these concert tickets or on this movie or on this video game, all this stuff that'll freaking divert your attention from, just learning how to be a decent freaking human being that has maybe some communication skills. So when things get sideways, people just don't go, the violent way out. So this kid was telling me a story today, because I was just like, oh yeah, I just saw homeboy driving down the hill on my way up, and he's like, yeah, he's like, what's the matter? You're just so talky. You're so talky. This is him at like 4 o'clock this morning, 4:30 this morning. Huh. You're not an outside cat. You want to go up top? Want to go up top? Yeah. One more month he gets neutered. Just hold out. And hopefully he won't want to go out as much. I'm sure you still will want to go out, but hopefully not as much. Look at those cute little pink toes. Anyway, so yeah, after we're there for a while, I'm talking to this kid, and he proceeds to tell me how the guy that I just saw going down the hill, who was just there, and they had words, and he was like, and the guy had decked him. And I was like, okay, well, people don't just usually people are cold cocking people left and right all over the place, and a city near you, but this was kind of out of character for the both, so I'm just listening and waiting for the story to unfold. And he's like, well, I probably kind of deserved it, because I did spit in his van. And I was like, dude, yeah, you deserved it. You deserved to freaking pop upside the head, because you freaking, you don't know. I don't condone violence. I don't ever condone violence. But I can understand why the guy freaking decked him, because that's playground justice. That's how you do it, And this kid, I'm like, dude, you should know better, because somebody just a few weeks ago, like, evidently freaking threw crap, like human feces in his van. So, and he was like ready to end somebody's life from this, And I was trying to explain to him, or not, just share my experience, that every time I've caused harm to somebody in life, or somebody's caused harm, how did it work? I said, retaliate, karma's got to sort people out. We don't get to do that. That's not our rule. That's not what we're here to do. I'm like, and however, he's like, well, he was being real rude to me. And okay, sticks and stones, people can't be like freaking throwing guns out and around and throwing punch because they get their feelings hurt. You can't be doing that. People gotta handle their own emotions and their feelings, or learn how to. And there's all kinds of really positive coping skills. I have a lot of breathing exercises that help me. I haven't freaking. It's worked for me this so far. You want me to wake her up, Stanley? I can put her over here. Stanley's like, she's in my chair. Come here. I know, you're adorable. Come here. Go see your baby. Here, what's your baby look like? There you go. And then she just lays right back down and goes to sleep. There you go, Stanley. That's your chair. So, I was just trying to share with them, every time I've done something to somebody, the consequence that I get from just being a jerk or acting out or something like that, has always been worse than what I ever did to the person. So you start paying attention and noticing how that happens more and more. You just kind of get to the point that you just kind of, it's not worth it. Just leave things be. Learning how to turn the other cheek for me is something that I've had to learn in the last few years. And before I left Oregon, yeah, he wanted his chair. Before, I know my critters, man. Before we left Oregon, I had an experience where I walked out in the backyard and I was mad. I've had to be mindful of my just being mad about stuff my whole time, because stuff happens. I mean, it's justifiable anger, but for people like me, I can't. Even justifiable anger is dangerous, because I mean, people, I could drink out, just get, I'm so mad, I'm gonna go get this bottle of booze, and no, I can't do stuff like that. I got mom to look out of, I got cats, dogs, I got things, life to live. And when I get lost in bottles and stuff like that, then I'm just living the same day over and over, and that's, for me, that's no way to live. It's fine for a lot of people. It's not okay for me. I talked to a lady today. It was not even 9:30, and she was like, I had a couple of conversations with her before, and I guess I just didn't notice. But today was the day I got a whiff, and I was like, dude, she's already like 2 sheets in, and it's 9:30 in the morning. There's so many people that have an inclination and have that desire. It's just that what they do. The functioning, the alcoholic. That's not me. Nope. So it's so important. I mean, it's just how so many people live. So how many different versions of reality are we or how are people experiencing, just based on, like, you have people that are sober, you have the stoners, you have the alcoholics, you have the, of all these people on different things. You have the the people that are sober, but they don't have any. It might as well, the way their habits and the way that they live their lives, they might as well be on coke or whatever. Free will, self-will run riot. It's just lack of discipline. I asked that kid, I said, don't you have that voice in your head? I said, like, when you were about to huck that loogie, I said, you didn't have no kind of voice in your head that said, no, man, don't do that. You just said, you just feel disrespected. So, now there's 2 disrespected feeling people in the world. He thanked me. He thanked me he's like, I appreciate you put me in check like this, because I forget. He's like, this is stuff I know, but then I forget. I said, people got to learn to discipline themselves. They got to keep themselves on the right path. Man, there's too many. Don't be more of the freaking trash that's on the planet. That's the easiest way to set yourself apart, is to not going down to people's level. And I'm saying this to myself too, because I got a mouth. And he said his girlfriend lives like 30 miles south of here. And when I was at the park a few days ago, and it was just he and her there, and we had a conversation, and she said, my girl thinks that, she said, she likes you. She thinks she said, you got that mama bear vibe. I was like, that's cool. I said, yeah, I'm kind of like that. It's my placements. I just there's always, people can choose to do right or freaking wrong, and I just encourage people to do right, because the outcome's a lot better in life when they do. And where I live, man, there's so much. I said, I'm not really a fan of the police. There's some good cops, but there's not enough to stop all the shitty ones from freaking ruling the world. So, because there's, whatever. I met one in my whole life, and all the rest are just kind of, just they're the freaking jock, freaking jerky, freaking clicky assholes in high school that just grow up to, end up back in their hometown doing the same things. Just whatever. And it's all it's all how they feel. They go after people they don't like. It's all that stuff they say it's not like that. That's exactly how it is. So I'm not a fan. And somebody was said today says, "Oh, I see somebody doesn't like the police. Well, what are you gonna do when you meet a crack?" I'm like, dude, I see crackheads. I talk to crackheads every day, drunks, all times. That's what freaking us. I'm a freaking pastor. So I mean. That's just what I do, and you're not gonna. I ain't gonna change the mind of no freaking rich person. It's no plastic freaking mentality. Just do what you do because that's how you've always done it, and that's how it's always been done. Blah blah, and all that. Oh, that programming. I'm not here to try to. It's the people in the trenches. You got to go, people keep talking about boots on the ground. Well, you got to go to where the people that are in the grips of their disease, and I like to share that I know where they've been, and there's a way out, that they don't have to keep living that way if they don't want to. If they want to, that's just fine too. But some people just don't know that there are other ways to live, that their minds get stuck in like a mind trap loop, and all the days are just the same. And there's a lot of people that are just struggling to survive. And while so many people are living the best versions of their life, and it's just, there's such a gap in between, and it's just trippy. It's just, disregard for human life, human spirit. People are getting disposable. People are a lot of it has to do with these, it's just easy to talk trash, say whatever you want on here. People have lost their ability to be social, just like be decent. And then you have the ones that are just like, so it's just so you are not like that in real life. It's that phony, fake stuff, all that. Oh my gosh. So I won't be going out to the park much more because they're having some barn dance or something like that. I was happy to see other people, because it's like, dude, they have it in the park. They close it off to the public. It's just like, it sucks for the locals, and it tears up the lawn. It tears up the grass because they pull it. And a dumbass freaking pulled in today in his truck, freaking goes under a tree, rips a freaking branch off the tree. And he just keeps, it's just, I know you know what you did. You didn't even stop to freaking move your branch or not. I mean, people just don't think, they don't care. Someone else will do it, and it's just bizarre. It's so weird to see what the world's evolved to, and freaking the 48 years I've been on this planet. But I have a much brighter spectrum than most, though. I've had a freaking wild story. That's why I love listening to finding out other people's crazy stories, because I already know all my stories, and just to hear and find out about the craziness that other people have witnessed and experienced. Because all that stuff, like I say it all the time, that they say it doesn't exist, it's also very true. All the shapeshifters, all the freaking, we live on an alien ant farm. I don't understand why freaking human beings, our DNA, I mean, we got so many different species of human being and varieties. Everybody looks different, acts different, thinks different, but yet they consider everyone to be all the same. It's a trip. There's a lot of people with a lot of really special abilities. I have the ability of telekinesis. I get it from Mom. And I don't know why. Was that Luna? I don't know what she's growling at. Because there's no kitties around her. Anyway, maybe she's having a dream. So, You know, there's a lot of people with some really freaking uncanny and really cool abilities, but you know, there's a lot of people that have been stifled and muted and covered up and hidden because, you know, they because the society, man, the deck is definitely stacked in society, and who gets a position and where they get to go and who gets what letterhead. It's all so by design. And I used to think, I mean, maybe it probably was a lot more organic at some point, yet people, once they decided that they can make how they want it, and everything just became a club, and things got really freaking trippy, man. I know that there's a lot of people have had a lot of really good lives, and they've got good parents, and they come from good families, you know, and a lot of times I think those people are just like, you just don't know the secrets. You just don't know all the secrets, because every family's got them. Every family's got a history, and maybe people one day will come to the realization that we get to live our lives, and that it's important. Like I come to realize several years ago that there's certain karmas in my family line that I'm trying to heal, so they stop with me. And one of those is the alcohol demon desire track, all that stuff with my alcoholism that comes with all that stuff. Because on my dad's side, mom was adopted. I don't know much about her family, even though we were freaking delivered right in the midst of where she was born back in the 1950s. I just can't connect with people, but it's all divine. We're just not supposed to, is all. So, but father's side, grandpa was an alcoholic, and he didn't die sober. So I'm going to try and be an alcoholic that dies sober, and from alcohol. And because I use cannabis flower, I use weed, I smoke. I've been a stoner. I've always been a stoner at heart, you know. It's been, you know, but I don't take prescription pills. And I was telling the lady today, I said, yeah, I ain't never been falling down stoned before, but I've been falling down drunk, blackout drunk plenty of times. And I've never, like, you know, been black. I've never had a marijuana black. It doesn't do that to people anyway. So I'm for it. For people that have aches and pains, hurt, you know, it's just like everything else. Everything's in moderation. So everything. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Yep, don't remember at all. So all in all, it's been any day that no traumatic events happen, I'm happy. You know, it's a good day for me, and it's been over. I went and meditated, and then got up, and the clouds came in. There wasn't a lot of clouds when I started my meditate state. When I came out of it, it was all over. It was like all day evening at like 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's been like that ever since. So I wasn't even sure if the connectivity was going to work because of because we've been getting rain and stuff here. It's so nice here. It was like 79 degrees or 74 degrees or something like that. Just totally chill, just totally cool, you know. Just windows open, stuff like that. And smell the air, the rain, and I looked up in weather in other parts of the country, and Redding was 109, and I think Sacramento was 107. I'm just like, thank you, God. Because sometimes, you know, I get ideas about things and think things are a good idea, and, you know, Creator is just like, no, that's not in your best interest. So we get assigned other places, huh, Ma? When I want to live someplace, we end up moving to Oregon, and then it seems like life blows up. So we just go where we're told now, huh, Ma? Pretty much. How you feeling today, Ma?
I'm good.
You're doing good? There's Little Bits. Where you been, Little Bits? We're doing the cat cave. Do the little bits.
Oh, the tiny one.
The tiny one. Yeah. The little whiskers never grew back, did they? No. Did you see you? Are you cute little bits? They said don't bother me. Huh? Oh, one up there. All right. So I think I'm it. I think I've. What did I even call the talk? People keep shorting out. Yep, emotional control. You know, and you got society that majority of the society just doesn't. They just don't know how to calm themselves down. They don't know how to listen to that voice that says, "Don't do that. It's wrong." They did some sting down in Albuquerque. They did some. They had like, in this. I don't know if it's a factory outlet or a mall or whatever down there, but they arrested like 26 people for shoplifting.
Really?
Right? And I was like, dude, that's like freaking like shooting fish in a barrel. You know? I mean, and these people, they're just like zombies already exist. I mean, all a zombie is void of spirit. It's a human void of spirit. And how many of those are walking around? They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't care about themselves. So many people that don't go care about themselves. They're not going to care about other people. They don't care about themselves. They're not going to know how to do it right. So things are changing because I think it's just like, I don't know, we're kind of in the period of Babylon. It's like survival of the fittest, and it's like the cream of the crap is rising to the top, and then you can just like knock that froth off and continue on our business. And you know, I was telling this kid today, I said all these cycles are lining up. All these cycles are lining up. So like you got the cycle from the CME, you know, Earth hasn't gotten a real good one in however many years, you know, and then you got the pole flipping cycle, you know, it's on a different timeline than the CME blast, you know, which initiates, you know, they all kick off their own weather cycles and patterns, you know, the ice age, and then coming out of it, all that. It's all secular. It's all patterns and clocks up, times up on all these cycles. So it's like, you know, we're due for some cataclysmic convergence. And you know, I hear it a lot, and I don't want to agree with it. I really don't. I dispute it, but I do agree with it. I mean, it's in alignment with me that we chose to be here at this time, you know, and I believe the people that that chose to be here at this time are here to rebuild, and we have, you know, as far as we know, we've never had heaven on earth because of this freaking hive mentality. And as of yesterday, man, good riddance on a freaking oh God, just I think about the carnage that woman has brought on. And it's dead. It's gone. I mean, what she's done lives on, but she can't do no more harm, and she's meeting her maker, and I don't think she's resting peaceful myself. But it's that hive mentality that somebody at that top, and then you have people that need to serve. It's all of that stuff. You know, we never had heaven on earth. We could have it now, or once we build from what's coming next. You know, because like USA's done. You know, all these countries, they're done. They're done. How they've been for the last. You know, they managed to keep the board the same pretty much for the last 60, 70, but it's, you know, 100 years that society's really been around, and all the time that the planet's been around. You know, it's just, I look at Creator, it's just like as a whole, you know, we're just an erector set. He's just gonna shh. You don't know what an erector set is? It's one of these. Etch-a-set. I say erectors. It's a etch-a-set. It's a etch-a-sketch. I said I've been saying erector set. That's the tool. That's the building. That's the one I used to cut my fingers on that had the sharp pieces on the metal. Is the erector set. But the a sketch is like, you know, we can make heaven on earth. We don't do it, and then the creator goes to the point. It's just like, okay, race, do over. What are you gonna build now? You know. And I ain't really, frankly, into the freaking control thing. I'm more about freedom. Is how my planets lie. So. Weird thing that happened, it's like we're in Mercury retrograde season, right? And like exes are supposed to come back and stuff like that, right? And or the chances of it happening are more likely than other times, all right? Based on the astrology right now. And so I wake up and I had a message this morning. And it was from a friend of mine, a gal I used to know in Omaha, and her husband. And it was a picture of them and me, and that girl that I used to like I thought like she was like the girl of my dreams. Like when I saw her, like we had crazy wild chemistry, and then. Fast forward, I look at the picture because I was like, life is complete right now, right? That was a point in my life is like, everything. I had all the picture in my head of how I wanted life to be. My reality matched that. And the universe said, I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted because I got different plans for you. So... But looking at that, but it was funny because I didn't hear from and my ex, I don't contact people. I don't have exes. I have like 3 exes, but they're not going to hear from me. See, some people need to just stay in the past, so we'll just keep them there. So anybody ever dated me or anything like that, don't worry. I will not be messaging you this Mercury retrograde season. I just thought it was funny that I got a photo of an ex, but it wasn't from my ex. It was like inadvertently. So it was just kind of a trip. It was like, aw. It was one of those, aw. Right when I woke up kind of thing. And then I remember all the hell and all the freaking pain and stuff that came with it. And